If you've ever asked the question, where have all the good guys gone? Where have all the high value men gone to? They're out there grinding for their future, which they want to gift to the exact right person. And the right person for them has these 5 qualities above all. You see, high value men need certain things to keep them stable so that they can provide and give to good women. So I'm going to take you through understanding these 5 things that men look for, because if they aren't done right, or if there's a contradiction to these points, it is a major red flag for a high value man. I'm also going to show you at the end how you can embody these characteristics in an authentic, true way that will send the right signals to a guy that you're really interested in. These things work both ways. Most high value women are looking for the exact same thing, just on different levels. You're going to want to stick around for point number 4 to get the most out of this video. Point number 4 might seem simple, to be wanted and not needed, but it goes into a whole lot more depth than you might think, and I'm going to take you through all of that in this video. Before I dive headfirst into everything, I do just want to clarify something. In this new day and age of looking for a different level of balance between men and women, there's ultimately 2 roles that create a perfect whole. And that situation is going to be from one person being a provider and from the other person being the nurturer. So it's for one party to bring the house and for the other person to turn it into a home. These 2 things together make the most powerful connection you could possibly ever experience. And in next week's video, I'm going to take you through a compatibility metric that blew my mind. It's a way to look into a potential relationship or a connection and actually assess whether or not you guys are truly compatible at these core levels. So if you don't want to miss out on that video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and you won't miss out on this awesome way to tell if you and someone else are truly compatible. Consistency. Also something that might seem really simple to a lot of people. Obviously you have to be consistent, but let me break it down into where it actually gets interrupted, where you start to throw around the wrong signs and the wrong signals to this person of value. And what it boils down to is where you are loved one day and not the next. This is something that happens a lot in modern connections. In today's day and age, someone feels like it one day and then they don't the next. And if you're somebody who's inconsistent in how you value, love, or treat someone, this is going to throw a big red flag and make a high value individual retreat. So to be connected with your authentic self and having made decisions about who you are and what you actually want from life will naturally equal consistency. So what that high value person is actually seeing is the stuff behind. The version of you that knows yourself well enough to continuously and consistently aim for those goals. It also shows a level of ambition. It shows that you are driven to have what you know you deserve and what you actually want. A lack of consistency can absolutely destroy any connection. It breaks down trust. It also reshapes the idea someone has of you. If you aren't consistent and you're a different person every day, nobody knows who they're getting depending on the day. And low value, weaker people tend to tolerate this because they often don't have a high level of self-worth. So you speak about high value men and high value women, their self-worth is exactly where it needs to be. They treat themselves the way they want others to treat them. And the biggest way you can confirm that that exists, that ambition, that authenticity, as well as high level of self-worth, is through being consistent. Moving into point number 2 is mutual respect. I know that in today's day and age, we speak a lot about how men have a different value in an economic workforce and women aren't paid as much. And I'm not going to get into all the details about how true that is, how untrue that is, where it stands, but I'm going to get into respect as a whole with 2 people. No double standards. As soon as there are double standards in a connection with somebody, you're allowed to go out with your friends, but they aren't allowed to go out with their friends. Now let's even get deeper than that, because it's not just about going out. It's how you are treated when doing those things. So if you're both allowed to go out with friends, but when you go out, you never get any shit from them. There's no WhatsApps or messages or texts. Where are you? And putting pressure on the situation. However, when they go out, that's what happens. Then there's double standards and there isn't mutual respect. Mutual respect is embedded in trust. If you truly trust not only the other person, but also yourself, then you can trust in that self-worth that I mentioned in consistency, meaning you aren't going to tolerate what's not worth your time. And this is what starts to happen when trust is being formed. Its absolute foundation is always self-worth. If you value you and the other person values them, and this all leads into point number 4, by the way, it's really important, then that self-worth develops a sense of trust that if things are not worthy of your time and of your energy, you have the ability to walk away. So it's about respect for yourself and your partner. If mutual respect is not set in place, this is a red flag to a person of high value. If you don't have trust, you have nothing. Without trust, there is no us. And this is something really important when it comes into being respectful of one another. If someone exhibits behavior of doubt, or a lack of mutual respect, it makes them look unstable and it makes them look weak. If you're impressing these concepts of like, I need you to do certain things because I've been hurt in the past, and you're almost punishing a new connection for things that have happened to you in your past, you're telling them that then they need to be there in a certain way for you to be okay with the relationship. And this is where giving as a concept goes out the window, because now it's no longer me giving you my energy, it's now a transaction. If you want the best out of me, you need to do certain things. So there's no giving in that connection. That is purely a transactional situation. Someone of high value will realize this. They won't tolerate it. They won't stand by while you're deciding whether or not to give them respect. Respect is an automatic response, and it's a reflection on how you treat yourself. So where there isn't respect, we know there's no self-respect, and high-value people don't want somebody who can't respect themselves. It means you're independent. It also means that you're strong in and of yourself, so you are okay by yourself. And that again leads into point number 4. The next important one before we get into it is transparency. If you are open and honest and clear about your intentions, thoughts, and your actions mirror it, that sense of alignment is a really good sign for someone of high value. And what that actually allows someone of high value to do is to match your actions to your words. If you are open and honest about how you feel, what you think, what you aim to achieve, and your actions mirror that, that shows someone that you are in alignment, and again that you're driven and ambitious, that you can go and get things for yourself. You are capable of living an independent life. And that means that the person is a choice. And that's really important because that's what it all boils down to. So being open allows someone to see honesty. Trust is automatically built with transparency. So if you are open and honest about everything all the time, and you speak your mind freely with a level of conviction, it also shows someone that you are hyper intelligent, that you are self-aware. And that self-awareness is key for a successful relationship. Low-value people don't care about you being honest because they'll fight about it when the time asks for it. And this is the kind of person that a lot of people are finding in relationships because they're hiding certain parts of themselves. It also opens doors to a level of deeper connection. Transparency means being vulnerable. And it doesn't mean you're under attack, but that vulnerability means I'm putting myself at potential risk by loving you, by connecting with you, and I'm trusting in you to take care of that vulnerability. And a high-value person will be honored by that opportunity to take care of that vulnerability, to not let it be impacted and crushed. So it's really important to learn how to be transparent. And the way we do this is by understanding our feelings to our thoughts to our actions. A lot of us use emotion as a reaction to things, right? Someone does something, we get angry. Someone does something kind, we feel appreciated. The feeling is never meant to be a reaction. It's actually meant to be the thing, the source of the thoughts and actions. You see, because feeling is a much deeper state of truth than words and thoughts. Words can lie. Thoughts are manipulative, but emotion is raw and true. So when we get in touch with a level of authenticity within ourselves and we act out of the feeling, that creates a really great sense of coherence, and it helps someone of high value feel valued in a connection. It also shows that you are putting your cards on the table and willing to take a risk. And that reduces the pressure of perfection. Because if you're sitting there without transparency, you don't have all your cards on the table, that situation is full of expectation. And a high value person is going to be pushed away by the hidden expectations. Things like this: I don't want to have to tell you to go and do the dishes. I want you to do it because you love me. That kind of thing is actually very manipulative, and that's hidden expectations. Whereas transparency builds that vulnerability and makes all the cards playable. And someone who sees that of high value is going to be invested in that because they know what they're dealing with. Nobody likes the unknown, and expectations destroy relationships, especially when they are unspoken. So rather be open, be honest, explain the feeling that's creating the need to discuss these maybe uncomfortable topics. Now we get into the real stuff. And I've been excited to share this because it's so important and it's something I deeply believe in. Everything boils down to being wanted and not needed. If someone feels needed, they feel responsible for you. Now, a high value person is responsible for a lot of things, or they would not be high value people. They also know how to overcome obstacles and be independent. They know how to depend on themselves, to lean on their own strengths to solve problems. As soon as that kind of a person feels needed, the relationship and its energy there starts to shift. And if someone is unaware but high value, they typically form the role of a parent. Who wants to be in a relationship with a parent figure? It's quite distorted and unnatural. Whereas if you're both equal partners and you're going, my life is sorted, I'm very happy with the way things are, and I choose to be with you who has a sorted out life and who's happy where they are, you are trading a level of happiness for an upgrade. It tells them that they are deeply valued because you can very comfortably carry on with your independent life without ever needing support. So it's really important to not need your partner, but to want them. It's not about needing their advice to solve problems, but wanting it because you appreciate their opinion and their insight. So this is something to deeply focus on when going into a connection. High value people don't want to be needed. It's already too difficult to manage a high value life. Now, to on top of that be responsible for someone is a hell of an expectation, and it knocks them right off of the interest levels that you want them to be at. It's a major red flag. So make sure in yourself that you are someone you want to hang around with. Make sure that in yourself you are taken care of. If you have that independence, if you have that source within you of I've solved my problems, I have what I need, I have what I want, someone else who wants to enter that connection knows that they are getting value added instead of value taken away. If they have to constantly pour value into you so that they can have the relationship they want, they will withdraw. They'd rather have it with somebody who naturally fits into their path. And that leads me into point number 5, which is also really important: commitment. Commitment shows a level of depth that high value people really admire. If you're committed to your path, if you're committed to your future, to your ambitions, if you have a good picture of what you want and you are actively, constantly choosing to chase that, even when the times get tough, they see a level of commitment that they know if you were committed to one another, they would have that same level of security in you. High value people want security and stability. It's not all they care about. However, that is a foundation that they can build a relationship upon. Because if there is no stability, it's going to throw them off track. High value people have gone through difficult times. They've gone through trauma. You cannot become high value without paying to shape you. And what that takes is a certain level of stability within their mind that they have to create to make things balance out in their lives. To make things stable, to build upon, is really important to high value people. So commitment is the perfect foundation to set. If they see you're not committed, like you want something but you never do anything to get it, they know that even if you want a better relationship with them, you're not going to take the actions necessary to be the stability and security that they need. They're going to feel needed and not wanted, and the whole thing falls apart like a set of dominoes. So have this clear in your mind, how to be committed. Now, how do we do all of these things so that a high value individual looks at us and says, yes, that's someone I want to be with? It's all about you. It's got nothing to do with a partner. If someone is there going, I really want a partner, I really want love, and there's a sense of desire outside of their own abilities, it starts to shift people into an uncomfortable position. When you are so independent and aligned with your authenticity and pushing for your goals, you become a high-value individual. So that will naturally attract high-value people to reflect that energy. The universe is in pursuit of balance all the time. So we have to create that balance. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this video and it's added some value to you. Let me know in the comments which one of these was the standout one for you. I want to hear from you which one stood out the most. And like I said, if you're excited about next week's video, the compatibility metric, to know whether you and this person are even compatible, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit your notification bell, and you'll be notified when that video goes live next week, Friday. If it's already out and you're watching this later, you'll see it hovering over here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you all in the comment section, as well as on my subscriber list and next week's video. I'll see you on the next one. Mad love and light.